Bhagavad Gita chanting, Chapter 10, verses 21 to 30.
आदित्यानामहं विष्णुः ज्योतिषां रविरंशुमान् मरीचिर्मरुतामस्मि नक्षत्राणामहं शशि वेदानां सामवेदोऽस्मि देवानामस्मि वासवः इन्द्रियाणां मनश्चास्मि भूतानामस्मि चेतना रुद्राणां शङ्करश्चास्मि वित्तेषो यक्षरक्षसां वसूनां पावकश्चास्मि मेरुशिखरिणामहम् पुरोधसां च मुख्यं मां विद्धि पार्थ बृहस्पतिम् सेनानीनामहं स्कन्दः सरसामस्मि सागरः महर्षीणां भृगुरहं गिरामस्म्येकमक्षरम् यज्ञानां जपयज्ञोऽस्मि स्थावराणां हिमालयः अश्वत्थः सर्ववृक्षाणां देवर्षीणां च नारदः गन्धर्वाणां चित्ररथः सिद्धानां कपिलो मुनिः उच्चैश्रवसमश्वानां विद्धि माममृतोद्भवम् ऐरावतं गजेन्द्राणां नराणां च नराधिपम् आयुधानामहं वज्रं धेनूनामस्मि कामधुक् प्रजनश्चास्मि कन्दर्पः सर्पाणामस्मि वासुकिः अनन्तश्चास्मि नागानां वरुणो यादसामहम् पितॄणामर्यमा चास्मि यमः संयमतामहम् प्रह्लादश्चास्मि दैत्यानां कालः कलयतामहम् मृगाणां च मृगेन्द्रोऽहं वैनतेयश्च पक्षिणाम्
सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति। More the evolution, the need for expression reduces. So, why this is because evolution is marked by your sensitivity. How sensitive are you defines your evolution. Meaning how aware you are. Because today the word awareness has been abused so much. That's the case, every word has been abused. All this, profound words have been misused and abused a lot now. Even people like the word guru. You start using that even for a fellow who is teaching you how to make money in the market. Stock market guru he is. It's an abuse of the word. Similarly, this word awareness has also been, overused. Abuse in the sense overused. Abuse means that, anything, everything you use a word. Would you like to have one more chapati? I'm meditating on that. The word meditation there is something about those words. That's why we need to invent new words. We need to create new words. That's why you have to use the word intellect. Almost to a large extent, we look highly fanatic about that word intellect. These fellows, got attached to the word intellect. For instead of other words, you get attached to the word intellect because this is less misused. So that's how every master uses new terms. See, like Upanishads were using the word moksha. Patanjali has to come in and use a new word, samadhi. And then Buddha has to come in and use a different word, nirvana. Why they have to refer all these three masters are using different words? It's because any word being used by master gets misused and abused. Misused in the sense and abused in the sense, not a wrong application, in the sense overusing for everything. Everyone starts using that word. Like, everyone starts using the word, this, who am I? Everyone is not qualified to sit into this inquiry of who am I? I'm inquiring into myself. Self-inquiry. Any word you take, any word in any language, I'm not talking about only English, only Sanskrit. Every language, the words are being used so much. Therefore, we need to use some other word. So, I say sensitivity. Means how alert you are. More you grow spiritual, more you become alert. Since you are so alert, you don't require an exaggerated manifestation, expression. The fact that Arjuna is inquiring into, give me more details of your expressions, manifestations, where all God is, how you are expressing in this world, please explain that to me in greater detail, shows Arjuna belongs to that category. He is a lower category student. He is not advanced student. Mediocre or lower mediocre. Now we have all these grades now. Lower class, lower middle class, upper middle class, some, ranges we keep on changing. Like that here. So we say the idea of the details given is catering to the students who are less evolved. For them it is used. Verse 24.
पुरोधसां च मुख्यं मां वेत्ति पार्थ बृहस्पतिम् सेनानीनामहं स्कन्दः सरसामस्मि सागरः पुरोधसां च मुख्यं मां वेत्ति पार्थ बृहस्पतिम् सेनानीनामहं स्कन्दः सरसामस्मि सागरः.
Verse 24. And of household priests, O Partha, know me to be the chief, Brihaspati. Of generals, I am Skanda. Of lakes, I am the ocean. Of the household priests, Purodasam means the Prohits. Prohits means those who guide you in life through rituals. Those who guide you in life through knowledge, they are called Guru. Those who guide you through the rituals, ritualistic worship. Guidance is given through that, they are called the Prohit. So amongst the Prohits, he says, amongst those people, he says, I am Brihaspati. Brihaspati is the Prohit or the priest for Indra. Indra's priest is Brihaspati, son of Angira Rishi. He is the son of Angira Rishi, Brihaspati. And it is so interesting here. The son of a Rishi on earth becomes the chief priest for Indra in heaven. So where he will be? In heaven or on earth? Therefore, what does it mean? Therefore, heaven or hell are not geographical places. Remember that. That's how they teach. The way they teach is like this. They make a big story just to make one small statement. What is the statement? It's not a geographical place. So for us to understand the geographical, it's not a geographical place. How do you know that? Then how do you account for this? The person who is born here becomes a chief priest for Indra there. How do you account it? So this priest is one who guides you. Amongst all those people, now everyone have their own, all those people who are experts in the ritualistic patterns. They'll tell you to do this, do that. And Purodaha means, the literal meaning of the word Purodaha means the one who has the capacity to foresee the good that is coming in future. The good that you can gain in future, he has the capacity to foresee that. He is called a Prohit. So not just knowing, remember, knowing the rituals, which mantra to be uttered, what should come first, what should come next. Suppose if you are going to be having marriage, there are mantras. If you are going to do some other, Ganapati Homa, you do something else. You do some other Homa, something else is done. For each occasions or each practices, there are different mantras and different procedures. Shraddham, if you have to do, there is a different procedure for that. For each class of people, there is a different procedure. So the one who should know all that, who are you and how, if you employ those Mantras, the rituals adapted to your need, your station, your position, how that will help you is the idea here. So amongst those people, expert is Brihaspati. So he says, I am that Brihaspati, the chief priest. Of generals, I am Skanda. Skanda is the second son of Lord Shiva, Lord Muruga in south. Karnataka, Muruga we don't say. Subramanian. Here he is known as Subramanian. You go north further, there they call him as Skanda. And there's a lot of debate we are having. Is Muruga and Skanda same? Fight. One group says yes, one group says no. Both the groups has no clue about either Skanda or Muruga. Both don't care about what is he and all non-essentials. Getting involved with non-essentials. Now suddenly Krishna says, I am Skanda. Now there is a doubt. Whether Muruga is actually this or that. What is this now? He is a general. He is an army general he is. So for all this army generals, the most ideal, best one is Skanda. And he says, I am that. And what is he? This Skanda Purana, you know that there are 18 Puranas. Of that, Skanda Purana is the biggest one. Huge one that is. More than about 1 lakh verses. Skanda Purana. Bhagavatam, you know, it's a small one, 18,000 only that is. Bhagavad Gita, 700 shlokas. This is we are struggling. Skandamla, when we are going to study? Full. But it's a story. Inside that story, of course, there are tremendous material. In terms of intellectual only, I am saying. Not in terms of other subjects and all that. So many subjects come in that. Astrology to medicine to discussion on geography, everything comes. These Puranas have, huge volume of literature that is covering very many fields of inquiry. So this Skanda, he is born out of Shiva's third eye. He opened his third eye. When Shiva opens his third eye, fire shoots up. Out of fire he is born. That is Skanda. And there is a pun in that word Skanda also. Skanda means it is, what do you call it? Tulli Gudikirthu. How do you call it? Jumping, you can't say it. Tulli Gudikirthu. Tulli Gudikirthu, how do you call it? Tullan means you go up first. You know that, no? Jumping upwards. That is Skanda. Skanda literally means, literal meaning of the word means, Skanda means the one who will Tulli Gudikirthu. I don't know, how do you call that? If somebody, what do you call that in English? I don't know what you call that in English. Jumping upwards. What does fire do? Shoots up, you see. That's why Skanda name was given to him. Why he has given the name Skanda is because of that. Similarly, why they have given the name Muruga in Tamil language is because of beauty. Murugu means beautiful. So Muruga is the one who is handsome. Beautiful is usually used in English language for referring to a feminine lady, not to a man. You don't call a man beautiful. You call a man handsome. Here we don't care about all that. Here we say he is beauty personification. That's why he has given the name Muruga. Of the generals, he is born to manage the army of Shiva, Shiva's army, Bhutagana. All the Bhutas were his army. Controlling such fellows is not easy. Controlling them needs tremendous capacity and power. And Skanda had that power. That's why he says, of the generals I am Skanda. Sarasam Sagaramasma. Sarasa means the lakes. Wherever there is a water collected and kept, no movement. Water is not moving, it's just collected water. That's called Sarasa. Sagara is ocean. Of those places wherever they have collected water and kept, of that I am ocean. Means maximum quantity of water collected and just stays. That's it. Ocean doesn't run. It's actually a lake. Ocean is actually a lake. But since its vastness, we cannot equate it to a lake. Huge things of lakes and the ocean. Don't ask for logic now. Sir, what is the logic? Logic is only one. What is it? Anytime you see ocean, you understand what? That is expression of anywhere you see a water, swimming pool when you see, you should be reminded of what? Lake. Of all the lakes, ocean. Of ocean is nothing but Brahman. So, wherever you see water getting collected and kept, immediately you should remember this. That's all it is. Anytime you think of army, any army in the world, immediately chief of that is Skanda. Of that, who is Skanda? Brahman, manifestation. Same way, anything you go, any priest who comes to your house to do that, you understand what? Amongst all those people, the chief is Brihaspati and Brihaspati is him. So anywhere you go, anything you do, any interaction you have with the world, he is trying to give a lead, give a direction. 25.
Maharshīణāṃ bhriguraham girāmasmekamaksharam yajñānāṃ japayajñosmi स्थावराणां हिमालयः महर्षीणां भृगुरहं गिरामस्मेकमक्षरम् यज्ञानां जपयज्ञोऽस्मि स्थावराणां हिमालयः.
Of the great sages, I am Bhrigu. Of speech, I am the monosyllable, Om. Of yajnas, sacrifices, I am Japayajna, sacrifice of chant. Of immovables, Himalaya. Sthavarana. Sthavara means that which is born in a place, grows, stays, dies. doesn't move. And for these people, mountains born, stay, grow, destroy. Same place. See that? And it's surprisingly for us, we see the Himalaya. They say every year Himalaya is growing by 1 inch. Everest, they say, it is increasing the height. Other mountains we don't know. The reverse of that mountains we have seen. We have seen the mountain and mountain disappearing we have seen. Quarries. There used to be a mountain, Parangimalai. Now I go there, taking the electric train and passing by, I say, no, empty. What happened to that? I say, along Gali. Break that. The downside of it we have seen. It's born there, stays there, grows there, we have not seen that part. That part of it we don't know. This part of it we know because we are very young, very small. In the creation of earth, human beings, if you have to take creation of earth to be 24 hours, human beings' appearance on earth, they say, is 2 minutes old. Human species, not recorded history. I'm not talking about recorded history. The possibility of this Homo sapiens appearance until date, if you have to take, it is 2 minutes. In 24 hours, what is 2 minutes? That's how these people have had the capacity to see. That's why they gave it that name, Sthavarana. Sthavara means we understand that as, the plants. No, here it means all immovables. All immovables, which is born there, grows, stays, destroyed. Same place. Of that, what I am? Himalaya. I am the Himalayas. And it is so interesting. They say Himalayas is the youngest mountain range in the world. Unbelievable. Supposed to have been, born when the island India got collided with the Asia, the continent. It goes and hits, it goes on. That's how the Himalayas has come. How Krishna knew that we don't know. But he says Himalaya. Of the great sages, I am Prabhu. Beautiful. See, these things you should cherish it. If you don't, have that flair for these things, you can't understand, you can't enjoy it. You'll say, okay, next, okay, next. These things are to be stayed of the Maharishi. There are different types of rishis. Rishis also, there are various types are there. One is called as Maharishis. There are supposed to be 10 Maharishis. Of the 10 Maharishis, he says, I am Bhrigu. One of the Rishikes. Bhrigu. Bhrigu is a very popular character. Bhrigu is supposed to be the Manasaputra of Lord Brahma. Manasaputra of Lord Brahma. And he is the student in Taittiriya Upanishad. He goes and asks the Guru, what is this? This Brahman. Teach me this Brahma Vidya. And using this Panchakosha Viveka, he is taught Brahmanandavali. Where he says that which sustains the whole thing is Brahman. So Bhrigu goes back and inquires, what is it that sustains everything? He comes to a conclusion that it is food that sustains everything. We live only for food, no? We say we are having a meeting before breakfast, after breakfast. Let's say we have to change the class timing. Why? We are not able to have breakfast properly. I said, okay, we'll have breakfast and come now. The problem is lunch. Evening a dinner problem. Okay, late, early evening a tea time. Always, And Bhrigu also came to the same conclusion like all of us. Life is for what? Food. Annamaya Kosha. He goes to his guru. He says, Then he teaches him further. He says, no. Something subtler than that. Pranamaya Kosha. And then he guides him to Manomaya Kosha. Jnanamaya Kosha. And he comes right up to this Anandamaya Kosha and then gives up. To him, the Guru teaches something beyond that Anandamaya Kosha lies Brahman, which is of a different Ananda, not what you experience. Such a great Rishi is a student. Upanishadic Bhrigu this is. Then Puranic Bhrigu is also there. In Purana also Bhrigu comes. And these Maharishis in their meeting, suddenly they got a doubt. Of the three trinities, who is the great? Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Three. Of the three, who is the best? And they didn't know whom to decide. On what basis to decide? And finally, they appointed Bhrigu. They said, Bhrigu, you go and check it out. Whatever conclusion you come to, he becomes a chief, inquiry officer, investigating officer, he is the chief. So he does the investigation. So as usual, first thing he does is, obviously, first thing let me check with my dad. Obviously he must be. So he goes to his dad, Brahma. And Brahma, when he goes, he sees that Brahma is totally involved in the music of Saraswati. Saraswati, mother is playing veena and the fellow is enjoying it. He forgot himself completely. He is oblivious to what's happening around him because he is too involved in the music. Rejects. And then Bhrigu's Ishta Devata is Shiva, Ishvara. So from Brahmaloka straight he goes to Kailash. Right. On arrival visa. Special entry permit he had. Straight he went to Kailash, to Shiva's abode. And he is surprised to see Shiva is totally involved in the dance performance of Parvati. And he gets so annoyed. And he curses Shiva also. He curses Brahma, he curses Shiva, and then he comes to Vaikuntha, only option. Last option is at least this fellow will be of any meaningful. This guy. And he comes there. Vishnu is even worse actually. He is fast asleep. And this Mahalakshmi is massaging his feet and he is fast asleep. The frustration, first two he couldn't do anything. So he simply cursed and came back. Third one is too much for him to take. He couldn't believe it. He went and gave one kick to Vishnu. Imagine, how do you wake up someone, you scream. Right? First thing you call their name. If they are not waking up, you go and shake them. Yeah, or if you are so angry, from inside the room you scream. Even then they are waking up, what you do? Go and give one kick. See, that much easy. So he gave a kick. I don't know, Vishnu, he opens his eyes. First thing reaction of Vishnu is, oh, I'm sorry. You have made you to kick my chest. And he had all this jewels there. Kaustuba, right? Jewel he was wearing. You go and kick that, maybe your foot got hurt. Let me massage your feet. He starts massaging Bhrugu's feet. And that's where Bhrigu announces, of all the gods, the most powerful, prominent one, the chief one is Vishnu. And Bhrigu goes away. After Bhrigu goes, Mahalakshmi gets up and she says, I curse Bhrigu now. Why? Because he came and kicked the Akshasthala. Akshasthala is the heart. That is the place where Mahalakshmi is to be residing. If this fellow is angry with you, he should kick you, not me. Obvious, correct, no? He could have kicked any other place. Why this fellow comes and kicks on the Vakshasthala? Vakshasthala is the place for Lakshmi. Because all the three gods have given, places to their wives. Brahma has given Saraswati tongue, knowledge. Now it's all symbolic, don't take it literally, okay? It's all symbolic. Now don't ask me to start explaining symbolism. Right? Those who want to watch can watch in the YouTube. We have Durga, symbolism. Watch there, I explained there. And Shiva has given one half of his body, left side. Vishnu has given his heart for his wife. And we claim, in Hinduism, women are oppressed. I don't know, weird fellows we are. Anyway, there is another issue. We'll go to deviate. But it's interesting to see, Lakshmi cursed Bhrigu and disappeared from Vaikuntha. Once Mahalakshmi disappeared from Vaikuntha, all the glory that Vishnu was having is because of her. Everything is gone for him. That fellow became a pauper. He didn't know where to go. Roamed around everywhere and came and settled in Tirupati. That's a Srinivas. That's why he has to borrow money for wedding from Kubera. He has to marry Lakshmi. Lakshmi has taken birth here. So if she has to marry her, he has to present himself properly. So what to do? Borrow. Marriage loan. High interest. I said, doesn't matter, give me. Personal loan. Education loan cheap. Personal loan, interest rate is heavy. Marriage is a personal loan. Full interest that fellow gave, 36%. Meter vatti. Still he is paying. But fortunately he got Mahalakshmi. And the curse he gave to this fellow is, henceforth, the entire clan of this fellow will suffer for his mistake. Those who have knowledge will never have wealth. Knowledge and wealth will never go together. Curse those words. We are all very wealthy. Means what? Knowledge zero. Lesser the knowledge, greater the wealth. More the knowledge, no wealth. Because of the arrogance of knowledge only you are doing that. He says, suffer for that arrogance. This is Puranic. Bhrigu is an amazing character. So he is what? Three things are there about Bhrigu. One, Manasaputra. Two, Upanishadic student. Three, Puranic student. Great one he is. I am Bhrigu. Giramam Asmi Ekam Aksharam. See, this Aham Asmi will keep appearing again and again and again. For everything you have to add. Either Aham you have to add or Asmi you have to add. Right? Muninam Aham Bhrigu. Then Giram means of speech, meaning of the sounds with a particular meaning. That is called Girama. Girama means that. Girama means sound with meaning. Birds chirping is a sound, but there is no meaning to it. Isn't it? Don't say, we have one Kaka Siddhar. He will, do Josium with whatever the sound made by the crows. There's a crow Siddhar. Don't talk about that. Now we are talking about what we can understand humans. Sound with meaning is called Gira. Of that, what I am. It says, of all that I am Ekam Aksharam. Ekam Aksharam Asmi. Ekam Aksharam means one akshara, one syllable. One syllable sound. One syllable sound with meaning. Of all the sound with meanings. What is that one syllabled one? Is Om. Sir, Om, there are two, no? O. In the calculations of aksharas, we discount always the consonant. You don't count. The consonants were not taken into consideration. So consonants were removed. See, in akshara calculation, counting. So sound is a consonant. So therefore, that is taken out of equation. So what is left out is O. That is why it is said it is called as Om. It is an Ekam Aksharam. It is. And why Om? See, every sound with the meaning. Remember that. That is called Girama. Girama means sound with meaning. Now the problem is the sound with a particular meaning has a limitation. Isn't it? Say Rama. Rama is a sound referring to Rama only. When I say Rama, you will never think of Shiva. I say mango, you think of only mango. Jasmine will not come. So every word has only a particular meaning. Right? Even the word Brahman, when I say, what is the problem? After that he could have said, I am Brahman, no. Sound Brahman. No. We use the word only Om here. Why? Because Brahman has a limitation. What is the limitation of the word Brahman? It can refer only to Nirguna. Brahman can refer only to Nirguna. Saguna Brahman will not be included. The moment you say Saguna Brahman, immediately what will come into picture? Rama will come, Shiva will come, Vishnu will come, this one will come, that one will come, very many names will come into picture. Right. So Om is a beauty here. Why we say Om? Because Om can be referring to Saguna Brahman, also it can be referring to a Nirguna Brahman. Ekam Aksharam has this beautiful connotation for both. From these two angles. It can be referring to Purana, also it can be referring to Upanishadic tradition. Upanishads, when you say this Mandukya Upanishad, that's the analysis about Om. There, Om is referred, he says, establishes. Om means Matra, also Amatra. It is sound, also silence. So it has both. Certain words will have a sound value, certain words will have a meaning value. Sound may not be good, right? But the meaning is profound. Some sounds, the meaning is profound, sounding is not so nice. Either way. Om has what? It has a profound meaning. Also, it has a tremendous sound value, intonation value. Just the pronouncement, just uttering Om has so much of value. So therefore he says, of all the words possible, the best word is Om. That Om is what is referred as Ekam Aksharam. The moment he said Om, immediately Krishna is remembered the application of Om. What is application of Om? That is Japa. Right. So immediately he says, of all the Yajnas, I am Japayajna. Yajnanam Japayajna Asmi. I am the Japayajna. Yajna, first you should understand. Yajna means sacrifice. When this Jiva sacrifices, offers himself onto Brahman, that's called the Yajna. So that self-sacrificing, offering oneself to a cause, offering yourself for a goal of life. That is called the Yajna. This Yajna, he says, of all the sacrifices, the individual offering himself into a higher cause. If your cause is perfect, with that attitude, our problem is we have a cause but there is no attitude. There is no commitment for that. Sacrifice means should be like that. Willing to go to any extent. And actually doing it, not saying I'm willing and simply sitting. Destroy. Doesn't matter, man. So what? Let me go in the direction. That capacity to do is called Yajna. Of the Yajnas, he says, of the Yajnas, I am this Japayajna. Why Japayajna? He says, in all the Yajnas, there are certain defects. Right. Fundamentally, Yajnas carry three defects. The first defect, dosha for yajna, is dravyam. Dependency on dravya. No yajna can be performed without a dravya. Not possible. It don't work. The moment you say yajna activity, you need dravya for it. And the moment you say dravyam, invariably X amount of dravya will go waste. Isn't it? Wastage is there. That is why they should not waste and all that. That's why they invented one thing called Purnahuti. Take the whole thing and put inside. One shot. Because so much is left out. In spite of that also you will find so many things are a waste actually there. The flour is used, it's a waste. The water has been used, that is a waste. The ghee that is used goes waste. Left out, no? Isn't it? Inside. Left out. Dravya virayam happens. Wastage of material. Possible. 1. 2. Dependency on dravya and wastage of dravya. So, dravya dosha. First one. Second one they say is the defect of himsa. There is invariably someone or something gets affected. It is impossible that you perform a yajna, there is no disturbance to anybody. Sir, we are just conducting, Gita lectures only. You conduct a Gita lecture, and all around those 4 squares, people living in that place is what? 5 days parking problem for them. Not you parking. You go and park there and you come for the lectures. And that fellow is living there. Problem, no? A Kalaikai function. You have seen Kalaikai function here? Pat Street? You have seen? For that 1 week, I cannot not take the vehicle, nor I can leave the vehicle and go. You leave the vehicle standing, minimum 2 scratches every year. Per year it is 2. Because no fault of this, because so many people come. And we say it is a celebration, but it is causing what? You conduct any type of yajna. I am not talking about this animal sacrifice and all that. Don't immediately go, himsa, immediately we think it is to do with that. No. It is a disturbance. You will disturb. It is impossible that you are going to conduct a yajna without a disturbance to people around. Beings around will suffer. So there is a dosha of what? Himsa. Right. Second one. Then there is a third one. This yajna to perform, you cannot do it by yourself. You are dependent on the help of others. I can't say, I have studied the Vedas, I know all the rituals, but still, someone else have to come and sit as Brahma. Isn't it? I myself can't go and sit as Brahma there. For every ritual, there are people, coming, representing each Veda. They come, they have to sit. And they have to keep on giving permission. That's what we keep doing. We keep asking them for permission and they say, yes, go ahead. Who represents this Atharvana Veda is referred as Brahma. So he has to come there and he has to sit. I will do the rituals, but someone has to come and sit. No. So I am dependent. If he says no, If he doesn't give permission, you are finished. You can't continue. You are dependent. If I say that, sir, I am from Atharvana Veda, I am sitting as Brahma, then someone should do no. So in Yajna, what is the problem, sir? Third dosha is dependency. So first one, wastage. Second one, violence, hurt, disturbance. Third one is dependency. Dependency on another person to be there. In Japayajna, what is it? All the three doshas are not there. There is no need of any dravya. No need of anything actually. Actually, you don't even require. Say, don't I need this mala for me to do? Even that is not required. You can just count it with your fingers. They have a counting methodology. You can easily count 2000. Very easy that is. 1008 times, no problems. Japa. And do I have to be an expert in knowing the Vedic? Not required. Do I have to know the entire Vishnu Sahasranama for me to do japa? Not required. Do I have to do the nothing? All that you need to do is just know that one word. Any one name of God is enough. You can pick up and do. That's the japa yajna. Since there is no doshas at all associated with this yajna, it is treated as the best. So therefore he says, of the yajnas, I am japa yajna.
So this Swadhyaya and Jnana
Yes.
is said to be superior to this also.
No. Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna is inquiry based. Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna is a self-inquiry where you don't do japa, you do investigation.
Yeah, so why didn't he choose that instead?
Because that is not japa, that is inquiry. Investigation, reasoning.
But that is also yajna.
That is also yajna. But in that yajna, the difference is there. What is the difference? Inquiry cannot be done by everyone.
So for
Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna is not for everyone. Self-inquiry is not for everyone. For self-inquiry, you have to have a lot of preparations and qualifications, and traditionally, you need to be a sannyasi for that. That is why you cannot take this Mahavakya and do japa on that. Mahavakya, you don't do japa. I am going to take, Tattvamasi and do japa on Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi, 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 Tattvamasi. No, nothing will happen. Tattvamasi is to be investigated and inquired using the pramana and yukti. Remember, investigation has to be done with the usage of the right authority plus reasoning, which is not japa. That doesn't fall into the category of japa itself. Japa is a training given to the mind for its focus. To train the mind to focus on something for a long duration. That's called a japa. Japa practice, that is. Not dhyana. You see, japa is a practice. Dhyana is different. Japa is done pre-nididhyasana another, pre-swadhyaya jnana yajna, before that. So, of that he says, yajnas and all you perform where? Before. One. Another angle to it is, swadhyaya jnana yajna, when we say, there you are repeating what you have heard. The Vedic study, like what we call as revision. in the modern language, they say revision. You have to revise. Keep revising, keep revising. That is the way you prepare yourself for the exams. You have to do the revisions. Revisions you do after learning in the classroom. Same way, after Shravana, you do the revision. That's called the Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna, or in other words, what we call as Manana. Revising it. Which is very narrow. Lot of conditions were involved. You see, so that is totally different. So there we don't include this yajna. Of that, he says, I am japa. Of the yajnas. So the focus is not on japa. Focus first has to be on yajna. Yajna you got to focus first. In that yajna, what is happening? All these things are all happening there. In this, which is the best? Japayajna is the best. Why? Because only in japa, all the defects are not there. And it doesn't require a great pre-qualification for you to practice it. Anyone can practice japa. Japa practice can be done by anyone and everyone can do it. And do you have to do it only in this time, that time? They say, anyone, any time can be done, japa yajna. You see that? Other yajnas, only few can do. For example, a woman cannot be sitting and doing homa. Not allowed. But japa yajna can be done. So during this period time, can she do? Again they ask this question. Other yajnas can not allowed. Temple not allowed. Puja room not allowed. She cannot enter into puja room. She cannot go to the temple. She cannot do all those things. But japa yajna can be done. You say, yes, it can be done. What is a proof? Draupadi is a proof. Who else you need? Of the things they have this, authoritatively they say, of course it can be done. So, look at the ease, accessibility, the availability for it to everyone. Even a dumb person can do japa yajna. Other yajnas, can you do that? Not possible. A dull intellect also can do japa yajna. All that you have to do is what? Keep repeating the nama. That's all you have to do. What is our problem? Just pick up some name. If you cannot pick up multiple names, ideally speaking, it is better to take multiple names. Variety. That's why we have Sahasranama for every god and goddess we know. Shiva is there, Sahasranama is there. Krishna itself there is Sahasranama for him. Not Vishnu Sahasranama. Ashtotra is there for Krishna himself. Ashtotra is there for this, that god. Any god you take, they have so many names. Why so many names were given to? Like someone asked me, sir, baby name we wanted to give. Buddhu. The fellow has given 1008 names already. Vyasa has given 1018 names for babies. Boy. Girl, na? Lalita Sahasranama is there. Take that. 1008 names are given there. Pick up one now. The fellows don't know what to do. They ask me. But then our fellow has given that name should start with this letter. What is going to happen? Doesn't make any difference. As long as it is a name of proper one. Now people don't understand all these things, they keep names. Nirosha. Shameless. That's the meaning of the word. Rosha, Nirosha. What is that? Huh? Weird fellows here. Name. Nirosha. Name. Get a Sanskrit. You are really. Girl, you don't keep names like that just because you need to know. Where you have to search? Names are there. Pick up. Very easy to memorize. Even if you mispronounce it, no problem. See, for God, there's no problem at all. Even if you mispronounce it, you will not get angry. It doesn't make any difference as long as you are attempting to say His names. Japayajna, such ease it is. Now, of that, best has to be what? Of all the efforts, the best effort has to be the effort which is easy, which has minimal qualifications, pre-qualifications, conditions, and minimum dosha. That's called best. So, therefore, he says, of the yajnas, I am Japayajna. Beautiful. 26.
अश्वत्थः सर्ववृक्षाणां देवर्षीणां च नारदः गन्धर्वाणां चित्ररथः सिद्धानां कपिलो मुनिः अश्वत्थः सर्ववृक्षाणां देवर्षीणां च नारदः गन्धर्वाणां चित्ररथः सिद्धानां कपिलो मुनिः
Ashwatha, people tree, of all trees, and of celestial sages Narada, of Gandharvas Citraratha, of Siddhas, perfected souls, sage Kapila. Ashwatha, of the vrikshas, I am this Ashwatha tree, the fig tree, people tree, the holy fig tree. I am that. Of the celestial sages, Deva Rishi, I am Narada. Narada is very popular. All of us know. And everyone misunderstands. The greatest one, Narada. Chandogya Upanishad, Narada is a student. He's a student there, Narada. And the greatness of a man is based on this sutra that he has given, this Narada Bhakti Sutra. That's the only sutra for which there is no bhashya. Brahma Sutra, there is a bhashya is there. Dharma Sutra, there is a bhashya. Nyaya Sutra, there is a bhashya. Patanjali Sutra, there is a bhashya. For every, sutras, there is a bhashya there. Only for Narada's Bhakti Sutra, there is no bhashya. No one dared to attempt. They say, there is nothing to explain more than that. It is either it's impossible or it is so direct. Narada Bhakti Sutras. And who are his students, you have to see. The greatness of the master is judged based on his students. Who are his disciples? Dhruva, 6-year-old fellow, 5-year-old child. That's his student, Dhruva. And he is going to say, I am Dhruva. And then Prahalada, at least Dhruva was born. Prahalada, even before birth itself, disciple of Narada. Valmiki, disciple of Narada. Look at those people. A child, from where that child was to where he took him. What was, Dhruva before meeting Narada? After meeting Narada, from where to where he transformed him. And what amount of conviction and the devotion on God being injected by Narada to Prahalad. And Narada to transform this dacoit. Great sage Valmiki. Fascinating. Who gave that Adi Kavi, is referred as Adi Kavi. Gave Ramayana and Yoga Vasishta. Produced it. He is the guru for it. You can imagine what sort of a capacity must be. And one personality who could deal with everyone, from Rakshasas to this Gandharvas to Yakshas and Asuras to this. Everyone had a tremendous value for Narada. Everyone respected him. And he had the power to enter into anyone's palace. Amazing personality. And he says, of the Deva Rishis, I am Narada. Because he is a Rishi, also a Deva, put together he is. He is a Rishi plus Deva. He is a combination. Bhrigu is also Manasaputra, but he is not a Deva, he is just a Rishi. Same way here, Narada is also Manasaputra, but then what is he? He is a combination, a unique combination of Deva and Rishi group. He belongs to both. Then he says, Gandharvana Gandharvas. Gandharvas is the celestial beings. With so many, so many good qualities they have, those Gandharvas. Of that, he is the king of Gandharvas. He is the Citraratha. In the marriages, we invoke Gandharvas. Gandharva is the main one. Same way, even in the Soma Yajna, Gandharvas were invoked. Because they were the ones supposed to be the keepers of Soma. So they are the one who are supposed to be safeguarding Soma. So we invoke them first and take their permission to extract that Soma juice. So they are supposed to be very, even in marriages we invoke them. And they are experts in music and medicine. They are expert. Gandharva Lola, all they say. Gandharva is like Madurai Mani, they say. By mistake, he is born as a human being. He is actually supposed to be taken birth as Gandharva. Some technical error. Brahma, some simple error. He has given birth as human being. Like that we have a few great musicians. These Gandharvas are known for that. Of those people, I am the king of that. Siddhanam Kapilo Aham. I am that Kapila, sage Kapila, the one who gave this Sankhya philosophy. And very interesting one. He taught that Sankhya philosophy to his mother. That's a beauty. Mother takes a son as a guru and surrenders. This never happened. Mother can never see son as a guru, impossible. But Kapila's mother could see the knowledge. He says, of the Siddhas. See, the Siddha means a group of people who have certain powers. They are called Siddhas. Who have the powers. Special powers are there for them. They are Siddhas. Why he includes Kapila there is, you will find people of two categories in the spiritual realm. In the field of spirituality, if you see, there are two classes of people you will find. Masters. There are Jnanis and there are Siddhas. Jnani category means if you put a person into the Jnani category, you will not find any powers in those people. It's not that he comes and touches you and suddenly happens. That happens. I'm not talking about your psychic things. 90% of it is all your psychic things. Nothing there. But there are people who do have that powers. Certain powers. The glory that they have. By birth. Not that you cultivate it. There are some of them you can cultivate certain things. You can do certain practices and you can cultivate certain powers. Through that yogic practices, you can cultivate certain powers. Not automatic, the things will come because of your practice. So nothing of that is there in them inherently. Now Siddha means it is inherent in them. Remember, not that cultivated ones. Cultivated ones also possible. By practice of this, certain yogic postures are there, certain yogic things you can do, certain mantra japa you can do, certain mudras and this, that and all those things. You can do all those things. Over a period of time you will get some power because of it. Because of your practice, you get certain powers. Depending upon the intensity with which you practice, more power will be there. Isn't it? But Siddha Purushas were not like that. Siddha, to call a person Siddha, he should be having it inherently in him. By birth they will have it. Naturally they will have it. That is called a Siddha. Right? Don't include everyone into Siddha. Naturally it should be for him. And to qualify a person, he should have that power. Along with that power, he should have the dispassion towards that power also. Number one, Siddhas means they possess certain supernatural powers. Two, not cultivated supernatural powers. It is natural supernatural powers. Third qualification is they should be having that supernatural powers naturally in them, but highly disinterested, disgusted with that power. They should be, if you are feeling disgusted about something that you have natural, what will you do? Okay, you have a teeth, let's say. Suddenly one teeth here is black. Because when you are small, you took that raw, what they call this, brinjal. They say that, I don't know if it is true or false. But if you eat raw brinjal, your teeth will go black. So don't eat. You must have eaten that. As a result of which your teeth, one tooth here has become black. And you are feeling so uncomfortable about it. How will you do? How will you behave? You hate that. How will you behave? How will you smile? How will you smile? Go. Will not show your teeth. That is called, you are disinterested and disgusted. That's called vairagya. Vairagya means that you're disgust. Don't say disinterest, because disinterest doesn't give that punch. The disgust you have towards you having those powers. So obviously what he will do? He will never demonstrate. If they demonstrate means what? If they show that power means what? He is not a Siddha. He has the powers. I am not saying he is not having the powers. He has the powers. But you cannot be qualifying yourself into the category of a Siddha. Right? In the spiritual practices, those who do the spiritual life, you will find people appearing as Siddhas. There are certain Siddha Purushas are there. Tiruvannamalai side, if you go, they will talk. Right? They will say Siddha Purushas. Lot of them they will give account. This person, that person, this person. I am not giving names. Okay. Then they will give Siddha Purusha. He is a Siddha Purusha. He came and he just spit and he went away. Who? He went away. And from that day onwards, my business started growing. So everybody goes and asks him, come to my house and spit. Nothing will happen. But it does happen. He comes. I'm just saying, there's nobody did like that. Right? Just saying. There are people who have done like that. They just go there and say, hey, one fellow walked into a shop, tore a cloth, a new, sari the fellow got. He tore that and he took and went away. This guy got so annoyed, that owner of the shop started shouting at him and all that. Immediately the employee came, sir, keep quiet. If he's taking that, simply keep quiet. Tell him thank you and send him. And the owner didn't understand. What nonsense. Will you pay for this or who is going to pay? He said, shut up. He went away. The fellow goes this side. That side one car comes and stops and says, I want 1,000 saris. Order. How? This man enters off. No, that's all. Now you don't have to do anything. Go and sleep in the house. Business will grow. Don't ask me for address of that fellow. If I knew his address, I would have brought him. These are Siddha Purushas. They just do things, in a weird manner. Now we call it as weird. It's not weird or anything. For them it is normal. For us it is. But to qualify a Siddha Purusha, all these three conditions apply. Same way, Jnani also has conditions applied. You see, Jnani is who? The one who is endowed with wisdom. Right? Now, of the spiritual people that we know of, the person who is Jnani need not be a Siddha Purusha. The one who is a Siddha need not have any Jnana. Not necessary. It's not that he has to be a knowledgeable person or anything. Nothing of that sort. He has no wisdom. But he is. Yes. Now, this Kapila is such a unique personality. The combination of Jnanam and Siddhi. He had both to the peak. He could create a system of knowledge and give. New branch to create. A new branch of study to create needs a tremendous capacity. And that is Siddha of the Siddhas. I am Kapila. See you next class.